Okay, so I think let's start the session. So, hello everyone, and a very good afternoon to all of you joining us from different parts of the world today. A very warm welcome to all the respected authors and invited guests. So, we are now attending technical session 7E, sorry, 8E, and my name is Yashita, and I'll be your moderator for this session. So, I'm truly delighted to be here with all of you, and we are looking forward to a very smooth, engaging, and knowledge-packed session together. On behalf of the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 10th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Competitive Strategies, ICTCS 2025. So, this year is a very important year for us. It is the 10th edition of ICTCS and it is being conducted in a hybrid mode. So, the physical conference was successfully held yesterday in Jaipur, and today and yesterday we were connecting through Zoom. Wherever you are joining us from today, thank you for being part of this special edition, and let's make most of our digital space together. So we have an excellent lineup of presentations scheduled for this session, covering diverse ideas, research insights, and innovative approaches. I'm sure that you will find today's discussions very informative and engaging. So even in an online setting, the exchange of ideas and the perspectives can truly bring life to this session. So before beginning with the sessions, a quick session. So we will be having 10 presentations scheduled in this session. Each presenter will be given 10 minutes for their presentation, followed by 2 to 3 minutes for questions and discussions with the session chair. And at the 9-minute mark, I will give a gentle reminder to everyone to manage their time smoothly and keep the session on the track. So we kindly request all the participants to stay connected with us until the closing remarks. Your presence and engagement will add great value to this session. If you have any questions, clarifications, or updates during the session, please feel free to put them in the chat box and I'll be happy to assist you. So before we begin, with the paper presentations, it is my pleasure to introduce the session chair for this session, Dr. Pritesh Kumar Prajapati, who is an assistant professor at the KD Patel Department of Information Technology, CSPIT, Charusat Changa, Gujarat, India, with over 12 years of academic and industry experience. So he holds a PhD in computer engineering and an MTech in information technology, gold medalist from Charusat. He has also worked as a senior information security engineer at Geo Platforms Limited, Navi Mumbai. He is with research interest in information security and data duplication. He has 24 Scopus and 18 Web of Science indexed publications, had guided 4 MTech dissertations, reviewed for 44 plus reputed journals and conferences, and received $99,000 plus in educational grants from Google Cloud, AWS, and Quick Labs. He is also an EC Council certified instructor and Best Newcomer awardee in 2021, actively conducting cybersecurity trainings, FDPs, and workshops, including programs for Indian Coast Guard officers. So, Pritesh Kumar, sir, we are honored to have you with us today, and we would now like to invite you to share some welcome remarks.
Thank you. So thank you for the warm welcome. So we expected
Yeah.
that you, means all the participants, be having following the timeline, and it is
Yes.
expected you'll be providing your quick introduction, the topic, why you have selected for the research, the important methodologies, and comparative study if it required, in that your implementation and other thing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your remarks. So, for the first presentation, we have Jan Bhasha to present their work titled Federated Generative AI for Sensitive Data, a comprehensive survey of learning and synthesis with privacy preservation. So, are you ready with the presentation, Sheikh sir? Are you there in the meeting? Anybody from their team?
I think no.
Yes, so we can proceed with the next presentation here. So next we have Mrs. Snehal V. Dongre to present their work titled Identification of EEG Patterns Corresponding to Movement Imagination for Assistive Applications. So Snehal ma'am, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, so
Am I
you
audible?
can,
Yeah.
yes, you're
Yes.
audible. You can share the screen and start with the presentation, please.
Is it visible?
No, not yet. Yes, it is visible, and you can begin with the presentation. Uh, you have 10 minutes for the presentation.
Yeah, okay. So,
Yes.
good afternoon, everyone. I'm Snehal Dongre and presenting my research topic, identification of EEG patterns corresponding to the movement imagination and for the assistive application with the paper ID 572, and my co-author is the Dinesh Padore. So, here we will go through the introduction, objective, event-related potentials, methodology, experimentation carried out, results and discussion, and finally the conclusion. So here we are finding out the patterns, EEG patterns corresponding to the movement imagination.
Excuse me, ma'am, your slides are not moving. We are still on the introduction page.
Yeah,
So,
You can share the full screen.
yes, you should
is
share
it?
the entire screen.
And okay.
Yes, now it is. Yes, okay, you can do it now.
Is it now visible?
Yes, it is visible. You can do it. You are on
Yeah.
the introduction page, right? The
Yes.
introduction
Yeah. Yeah.
slide. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so actually the thing is we have found out the EEG pattern corresponding to the movement imagination. So what is the EEG? EEG is the the electrical potentials that are generated in the human brain, and we obtain this EEG signal by utilizing the using the electrodes attached to the human scalp, and the different EEGs are produced for the different activity, and here we have taken into the account the activity corresponding to the motor imagination. That is the movement of some body parts. So, it is through the literature survey, it is known that the different mental activity produces the different EEG patterns. So we have used these patterns in our work. So these different patterns, since the patterns are different, these patterns can be used for performing some dedicated tasks. These patterns can act as a, the non-muscular communication channel between the human and machine or human and computer. And these brain signatures can be used for motor restoration, and also these patterns can be used for the motor for identification of some diseases like epilepsy. So, with this motivation, we have used this research topic, that is identifying the patterns hidden in the EEG signal corresponding to the motor imagination. So, here we have identified the patterns and extracted the patterns corresponding to the motor imagination. So, here EEG signal consisting of the different parts. So out of that we have used the event related potentials. So what is the event related potential? These are the time locked EEG signal, and these time locked EEG signals are produced by the occurrence of some stimulus, like surprising sound, flashing of the light, like that. So all the sensory stimulus can be used over here to generate the event related potentials, right? So this is the some standard waveform for the event related potential, where you can see that the different peaks appears at the different time, and these peaks and their latencies can be used in order to differentiate the patterns. So here, yes, this is the basic methodology that we have used. Firstly, we have noted down the EEG signal, and then this EEG signal has to be pre-processed, and then this pre-processing is required because the EEG signal consisting of the lots of unwanted signal artifacts. So for that, in order to improve the quality of the basic raw EEG signal, we go through the pre-processing stage. And here, actually, as I said earlier, that we have used the problem of motor imagination. So that motor imagination, according to the literature survey we carried out, that motor imagination lies in the beta range of the EEG signal. So here, in the pre-processing stage, we have applied the temporal filter, band pass filter, in the range of the 12 to the 24 hertz, which falls in the beta range. And then after that, we have defined the epochs. Epochs are the short stretches of the EEG data corresponding to the event. Defining is done. After that, we have to select the particular epochs or the ERP, and for that the bins are created, and bins are then separated out over here. And after that, the if that particular epochs contains the artifact is a large variations in the amplitude, unwanted signal, that has to be rejected. And for that, the independent component analysis filter is run over here in order to remove this unwanted signal. And after that, the bin selection is done by using the bucket sorting algorithm, and then we average all the epoch to generate the standardized waveform. So with this methodology, actually we have performed the experimentation. Now currently we have taken out the a standard data set from the BCI 4 competition, where we have taken out the 4 different imaginations into the consideration. So here in this data set, how the data set is collected: firstly, the user is shown that visual cue, then the sound is beep, and after that, the arrow is shown to the particular user. And depending on that arrow, the user is asked to perform that kind of the imagination. Like, if the left arrow is shown, the user is asked to imagine the movement of the left hand. If the right arrow is shown, it is asked to imagine the movement of the right hand. Up arrow is used for the imagination of the both the feet, and the down arrow is used for the imagination of a tongue movement, right? And for that particular time, the imagination is done. For each of these imagination, 288 trials are taken into the account. So this is how this data is over there. And yeah, also, as I said earlier, in the EEG pre-processing, we perform temporal filtering in the beta range. Other than that, also EEG signal consists of a number of channels, and all the channels are not corresponds to the imagination. So here only the central lobe electrodes, that is the channel C3 and C4, are considered over here for performing the motor imagination, and hence only the signals from the 2 channels are taken into the account for the further processing. So here, this experimentation is carried out in the EEG lab toolbox and the ERP lab toolbox. Both are used over here. So this data set is loaded over here, and this is what we can see is the this window is the raw EEG signal that you can see, and we cannot predict any pattern for any movement over here. This is simply the raw signal. Then after applying the methodology, we get the different signals channels like movement imagine left hand movement imagination. You can see in the figure A. The figure B is for the right hand movement imagination. This is the C for the feet movement imagination, and D is for the tongue movement imagination. So these are the different imaginations we have taken into the account, and these are the 4 different patterns for this. So this is for the single user, and these are only across the channel C3 and C4, because other channels may disturb the pattern because they are not corresponding to the motor imagination. So likewise, I said we have to separate out the this pattern for extraction. So beans are selected, and for this different bean, this is my ERP measurement window, where we can measure, the latency versus amplitude. We can note down this latency versus amplitude to extract the attributes, and these attributes can be further used for developing the assistive applications. So these attributes are also noted down over here: latency versus, the amplitude for different imagination. So with this, you can see that these are different for different imagination. So we perform the, this, what I can say, pattern identification for the 2 different user. These patterns are for the different imagination for the user 1, and you can see these are the patterns for the uh, for patterns of the movement imagination for the user 2. So see the pattern for the user 2 and the pattern for the user 1, both are different. It means that it can be concluded that the patterns corresponding to the movement imagination varies from activity to the activity. These patterns also varies from the user to user, and utilizing hence these different patterns, we can develop the different assistive devices for the disabled people. Thank you. These are the references. Thank you.
Okay. So, Prajapati sir, do you
Yeah.
have any questions regarding this?
So I think you have created your own data set, right? The author. So is it
Yeah, we are working on we are capturing our own data set, but this work is, this is for the BCI based database, as I mentioned. This is taken from the BCI competition 4
okay?
data
Are you
set.
going to create your
Yes.
data set also for an extending of this particular
Yeah.
work?
Yes, sir. Yes. This is my basic work. We are capturing the data set using emotive epoch uh, key headset, and then these are getting recorded for the different activity.
So you mentioned it will be helpful in BMI application as well as for disabled persons.
Yes,
So
sir.
have you taken any measures for mapping this thing also? Have you considered medical doctor and discuss this thing with them?
Yes, sir. Actually, we have consulted some doctors, and they actually ask us to develop some assistive devices for the epilepsy-based patients, so that it will be helpful for them instead of just doing and creating that wheelchair and all based on these patterns. So we are one of the work is also related to that. We are in contact with them in the one of the hospital for regarding this activity.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nehal ma'am, for your presentation.
Thank
Now
you.
I will take Sheikh Jan Bhasha, who
Yeah,
was remaining with the presentation. Yes, can you share your screen and start the presentation, please?
okay, madam. Thank you.
Snehal ma'am, can you stop sharing your screen? Yeah, so you can present, sir.
Okay. So, very good afternoon to all. So, this is Sheikh Jan Basha, and working as a associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Data Science Department, the Senior College of Engineering, Hyderabad. And here, my paper ID is 695, and here title is the Federated Generative AI Functions to Data. And a comparative, this is a completely comparative study. And here my co-authors. And this is the agenda of the presentation, what I am going to present here. So starting from abstract to the final the references. And here Nowadays, we are in a digital world. We are enjoying all the facilities of the artificial intelligence. So, especially the deep learning and machine learning, as well as deep learning. And coming to the deep learning and machine learning algorithms in almost all the fields we are using. And coming to some of the sensitive domains, such as what we call the medicine and economics, and some public sectors, facing some critical challenges. And because of these critical challenges in the form of the privacy and the security, and to overcome these drawbacks, recently, the researchers introduced a new concept that is called as the federated learning, and which will be work on the machine as well as the deep learning methods, and to provide the privacy and the security. And here also there is a problem with the federated learning. Sometimes the data may be leaked, or sometimes the data may be misused. Because of that reason, a generative artificial intelligence new concept was introduced. And because of this, by combining these two methods, so we can work properly with machine learning as well as the deep learning methods by providing the privacy and the security. And this is the introduction of this one. The artificial intelligence already we have already I presented it in this one, has been transformed to delicate fields like the health as well as business law. Predictive learning was developed for a distributed privacy preserving methods. And predictive learning failures to challenges due to non-ID, that is non-independent and identical distributed data. And there is a limited and a low quality data will be there. And to face this one only, the predictive learning is integrated with generative AI techniques. And these models can learn the complex data distributions and generate high quality synthetic data, enabling data argumentation, and they will provide the class balancing and privacy preserving simulations. And this is the literature's review, and most of the research they worked on the different methods, especially in federated as well as the generative AI. So here they focused on the different data sets, and they presented different contributions. Okay, here the first paper is the federated GAN. So here the author is Hardy, and their main the primary contribution is application of the GANs in federated scenarios. Okay, and next author is federated DP, the diffusion models, and the split fed GAN, and next one is the federated VAE and diffusion models, federated and neuromorphic and GAN. So these are the different models they have worked, especially to provide the privacy and the security. So in sensitive domains, these are the different literature survey. And this is the main architecture of the federated generative AI. So here the main concept is the main server which will connect to multiple clients. And here the multiple clients they do have their local AI models, and they will train the data, and that trained data means the updates and the updated parameters that will be given to the central server, that is called the global model, right? And there the global model will aggregate all the results, and so that will be train again, that will be given back to the clients. Again, this process will be continued, and that diagram I will show you in the next slides. So this is about the federated generated AI. This is the architecture of the federated learning. And here, the generative AI architectures. So here in generative AI, we do have the number of layers. Here, the first one, which is called as the application, first one is called the infrastructure layer. And this infrastructure completely, which will discuss about the storage and the cloud platforms, in the form of the hardware resources, so that is the GPUs and the TPUs. When coming to the model layers and hubs, and here this will provide a different separated as well as the generative AI models in the form of Fed GAN and Fed D, Fed DP or the Fed VAE. So these are the different models we are going to be used for processing the data. And LLM and the prompt engineering layer. This is going to be used for monitoring as well as the optimizing the data. So whenever the different models work on that one, if any optimization is needed, and it will be work on this one. When it comes to the data platform and the API management layer, and here this data platform and the API management layer, so which will provide a different interfaces. Coming to the application layer, and which will work as which will be so an interface between the user and the system, which is going to be provided. This is a generative AI architecture. And here, the different generative models in generated AI. Generally, we will use different models, especially the federated GANs. The federated GAN, the GAN is based on a zero-sum program. And here, we are going to be used what we call the two neural networks. One is called the generator, and one is called as the discriminator. And here, always discriminator which will try to fool the discriminator, and discriminator will try to fool the generator. So, especially this will be worked on the data imbalancing. Especially we are good data imbalancing and creating the synthesis data. And here, this will be useful for federated learning, because in the federated learning we do have the global model as well as the local models. And here, so to provide the security from a local model to global model, especially we are going to use this GAN method. The next one, which is the federated variational autoencoders. And this is the family of the autoencoders. And this will be useful, especially whenever we want to deal with the latent or the latent futures in the given data. So in that case, we are going to be used the federated variational autoencoders. Coming to the federated diffusion models, here, whenever we want to avoid the noise, sometimes whenever we are working with the data sets or some of the images, so that images or the data contains the noise. To remove that noise, we are going to use the federated diffusion models. And the hybrid models, the advantages of these different models will be considered, and they will work on the data or the given images. So this is about the generative models in a federated generated AI. And this one is
So just
the
to remind you one thing, you have 1 minute left.
okay, madam. Okay, Professor. So this one is the step-by-step process, how privacy preservation will work in federated synthesis or the federated learning. So first, we are going to initialize the parameters, and for the corresponding model. So here, the parameters once they are initialized, and that will be the local model will be trained. Here, the local models are the different clients from different locations. Here, that will be trained, and they will send only the updates to the global model. Here, the raw data will not be sent. With the help of this one, we can provide the security as well as the privacy. And the secure update aggregation, that one, so aggregate all the updates from each and every client. And then the global model will update, and that will distribute back to the corresponding clients which are connected to the global model. And the same iterative training will be happened from client to the global model, and global model to the client models. And here, finally, the privacy preservation sensitive data will be generated, and that will be given to the model, and the model will work, right? And these are some of the applications of the federated generative AI in high sensitive domains, especially the uh, um, healthcare, and finance and banking, industrial IoT and smart manufacturing, education and learning analytics, smart cities and surveillance, personal device and wearable devices. So these are the different application areas which are going to be used in the federated generative AI. So these are the open challenges and the future directions. So here, the privacy and the data leakage risks are there. Whenever we are using this federated learning with a GAN, and there is a possibility of the privacy and data leakage risks, and non-ID and imbalanced data. Whenever we want to work with a different data sets, and there is a problem of the data imbalance, because so each and every client, what type of data set we are going to use, and what is the size of the data set, and sometimes the data sets may be imbalanced, and that is also one of the issue. And especially the training and application node collapse problem is there. Especially this will be worked with the GAN. GAN, one of the drawback of the GAN is the mode collapse. Here, So sometimes the corresponding generator will focus only on the limited futures, which will not completely focus on all the futures. So that is the more collapse problem and the system and resource constraints. So high communication overhead and commercial costs strain the edge and distributed systems. And here the future directions actually. So here we have to work on the privacy and the leakage, data leakage risks, especially the mode collapse problem. Okay, so these are the future directions. So next, this is the conclusion here. Just only I have referred collected data from different publication papers, and here I have given the literature survey and the different methods that are going to be used, and how privacy preserving will work step by step, and some of the applications. So this is about presentation of the federated generated AI. This is only the review paper. These are the references I have kept, what I have referred. So thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sheikh sir. Prajapati sir, do you want to say something?
Yeah. Can you please go to slide number 10?
Slide number?
Slide number 10.
Slide number 10.
10.
Okay.
10. Applications
Sir.
is mentioned. Yeah. You want to clarify education and learning analytics, right? So how you can provide federated generative AI applications and to means after doing the literature review, I have one question. You
Sir.
identify all the health means sectors paper, or you identify one method and you identify different sectors where it is applicable?
I referred only the health sector, sir. Actually, my research of area, especially in sir, GAN and the CNN, sir. And this one recently have started this particular area, sir.
Okay, so you are
Actually,
just
I
going through with that different domains, but as of now you have mentioned all that at least for future kind of thing. Okay, fine. I was
sure, sir.
wondering
Sure, sir.
how it can be helpful for education and learning analytics also. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Um,
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sheikh sir. So
Thank you, ma'am.
now yes. So our next presenter is Mohammad Nawed to present their work titled NLP Tool for Mining Public Sentiment on Urban Food Relief Efforts. So, Mohammad
Yes,
Nawed,
ma'am.
are you ready with the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can share your screen
Yes,
and start.
ma'am. Ma'am, it's visible?
Yes, the screen is visible. You can begin.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, respected chairmen. I am Mohammed Nawed, currently pursuing Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science. Today, I will presenting paper titled NLP Tool for Mining Public Sentiments on Further Urban Flood Relief Efforts, submitted to ICTCS 2025 with paper ID 564. With work, explore how natural language processing techniques can be used to analyze public sentiments during urban food relief operations using social media data. For, for the introduction, urban food relief is a major global challenge and caused by rapid urbanization, poor drainage systems, and extremely rainfall events. These floods disrupt normal life, damage infrastructures, and threaten human safety. During such disasters, social media platforms become real-time communications channels where people express emotions, seek help, and comment on relief efforts. Natural language processing enables automated analysis of this large-scale data, helping authorities understand public perception in real time. Uh, to what have we have published statements in this paper, like although social media provides vast real-time data during flood events, this information is highly unstructured, multilingual, and noisy. It contains several emotions, several sarcasm in their tweets. Manual analysis is not feasible due to scale and traditional methods failed to capture the emotional and contextual information. As a result, valuable insights related to public satisfying or satisfactory with flood relief efforts remain unneutralized in decision making. It's very important to understand the tweets according to their efforts. For the main objective for our the paper is the main objective of this research are to analyze public sentiments on urban food relief efforts, apply NLP and machine learning techniques for sentiment classifications, and generate actionable insights. These insights can support disaster managers in improve communication, resources allocation, and resource strategies. How do people respond to their. So the related works according to this, the sentiment analysis has been widely used in disaster management research. Previous studies have applied machine learning models such as NavBIS, support vector machine, and logistic regression to disaster-related social media data. However, limited research especially focus on sentiment surrounding urban food relief operation, which will be paper aims to address. So here is a proposed framework that we can apply. The proposed framework starts with collecting flood-related data from social media platforms using relevant keywords and hashtags. The data is then passed through an NLP pre-processing pipeline to clean and normalize the text, featuring extraction in performing using TF-IDFs, followed by sentiment classification using machine learning models. The, the output provides aggregated sentiment insights to support flood relief decision making. So here is some process for the NLP processing steps. NLP pre-processing is a critical due to the noise nature of disaster-related text. Tokenization splits text into words, while stopwords removal eliminates irrelevant terms. Stemming and lemnization normalize word forms. POS tagging and name entity recognize help preserve and grammatically contextual information. Regress cleaning removes URLs and special characters significantly improve data quality. So deep model explanation about this. Machine learning models requires numerical information. So TF-IDs is used to convert text into featured vectors. TF-ID assigns higher importance to centimeter behind words such as rescue, delay, or help, while reducing the weight of the common words. Logistic regression used to as the primary classifier. It computes a weighted linear combination of TF-IDF features and applies a sigmoid function to generate probability scores. Each weight presents how strongly a word contributes to positive or negative sentiments. This probabilistic interpreter natural makes logistic regression suitable for disaster management applications. So here, model performance and result. Logistic regression achieved the highest accuracy of the 75.2 percentage, followed closely by SVM at 74.8. Navy Bayes and Carey showed lower performance due to the strong assumptions and sensitivity to noise. Sentiment analysis revealed that positive sentiment slightly dominates overall, reflecting appreciation for relief efforts, while negative sentiments highlight delays and rescue issues. Conclusion and future works for. In conclusion, these paper present an NLP-based framework for mining public sentiment and urban relief efforts by integrating pre-processing, TF-IDs, future engineering, and machine learning classification. The system effectively extracts meaningful insights and social media data. Future work will be explore deep learning models such as LSTFs and transform-based activities like BERT, along with the multiple general sentiment analysis. Thank you from my side.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So was it your final year project or you're in third year?
I'm in fourth year, semester seven, sir.
Okay, fine. So have you heard about NPTEL course related to what you have done? That is privacy and security in online social media. So you can go through the week 8 to 12 and you'll find similar kind of ideas as well as some extended work you can work upon with Triple IT Hyderabad. PK sir is there. So you can extend this work and you can convert into product also. Similar kind of situation.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so up next we have Namrata Jangam to present her paper titled Optimization and Evaluation of Blockchain-Based Authentication Systems with Zero Knowledge Proofs and Multi-Factor Authentication. So, Namrata ma'am, are you here in the meeting? Okay, so I think we should move to the next presentation. So, for the next presentation, we have Aniket Chakravarti to present their work titled as Proposing Early Customer Segmentation for Target Marketing Using K-Means Clustering. So, Aniket, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, so you can, yes, good afternoon. You can present your screen and start with the presentation.
Is my screen visible?
Mm, No, it is not visible yet. Yes, it is now visible.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, it is visible. You can start with the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Aniket Chakravarti, currently pursuing BTech in Arya College of Engineering and IT. I'm in fourth year, and my this is my paper, and my paper ID is 599 ICTCS. So my topic is proposing early customer segmentation for target marketing K-means clustering. So this is the index. The index includes abstract, introduction, literature review, proposed methodology, result and discussion, conclusion, references. So coming in the abstract, so basically it says that the research processes using K-means clustering, a message learning algorithm to segment customers during the initial phase of their relationship with the company. The key insights for the abstract: what the problem we face in today's world are genetic marketing campaigns are often ineffective because they ignore the unique behaviors and needs of different individuals. The focus groups are early customers are vital because while they have little purchase history, they have high potential for future growth. The methodology that we use are by grouping these new customers based on emerging behavioral patterns. The methodology K-means clustering is identify distinct patterns in new customers, allowing business to replace genetic outreach. This is the abstract. And now coming to the next page is the introduction. So the introduction says the role of segmentation. By grouping customers based on shared characteristics, businesses can personalize their messaging and product, leading to better satisfaction for the customers to deal with, and having a more effective and marketing spend. The research gap between the customers and the product. Most currently segmentation strategies rely on 10 years of data for mature customers. But in today's world, there is a huge gap between the K. Just a minute. Between the K-means and the customers. So to reach that gap, we are having and research to give a proper solution for that topic. Now coming to the next slide is the literature review. The literature review says that rather than using genetic marketing for new businesses, should utilize early customer segmentations to create personalized experience that increase retention and reduce the high cost associated with customer turnover. These traditional segmentation base includes geographic, that is based on location, demographic based on quantifiable population characteristics, psychographic based on lifestyle, personality traits, values, attitudes, and behavioral based on observed behaviors. These are the literature reviews. And now coming to the next slide is the proposed methodology. The proposed methodology says that by grouping these new customers based on emerging behavioral patterns, business can predict their needs before they become long-term users. And the goal includes for proposed methodology is to create personalized marketing strategies that increase customer lifetime value, that is CLV, improve retention, and long-term profit. And for examples, it includes e-commerce, SaaS, and subscription services. E-commerce says that customers within their first 30 to 90 days post first purchase or within the first 1 to 3 transactions. SaaS says that users within their first 1 to 3 months post account creation or between completing a specific set of activation milestones. And subscription of services says that subscription services says that subscribers within their initial first trial period or first billing cycle. And now coming to the next slide is the proposed methodology. This is the distinctive and column-wise separations for the much proper solution in the given statement. So it says that target marketing strategy formulations. The ultimate goal is to translate these segments into actionable marketing strategies. So here is the clusters, and it is distinguished in key characteristics, target marketing strategies. So this is the segment. These are distinguished in segments, 4 segments. Segment 1 is the high potential engagers. Segment 2, one-time bargainers or one-time customers. And segment 3, seeking explorer. Customers who segment 2 says that customers who are not regular, who just come once and segment 3 supports seeking explorer who comes and explores and who are not regular. And segment 4 says that the passive observers who are continuously in touch with the product or business in use of the products. So here are the key characteristics, target marketing strategies for all of the segments. So let me explain some of them. So segment 1 is that high initial spend frequency, early introductions, explore multiple products categories. This means that when the interaction between the customers and the seller who are having a good interactions and have explored product categories, and nurture targeting marketing strategy are nurture and upsells, personalized recommendation for the complementary products, features, exclusively early access to new offerings. Segment 2 says that low initial spend, purchase during a promotion, and its re-engagement and value proposition. Segment 3 says the support seeking explorer, average spend, moderate engagement, high number of early support tickets, and assistance and educations. Segment 4 is minimal initial spend, low engagement, post purchase, and activation and general nudge. Now coming to the next slide is result and discussion. This is the data for the research we have done, and it includes initial purchase, and these are the clusters we have gone through. High value enthusiast, I'm talking about the customers who are high value enthusiasts. And cluster 2 are careful shopkeepers. Cluster 3, browser and disengage. Cluster 4 is quick transactional. These are the data that are given. And then coming to the next slide is result in discussion. Interpretation of hypothetical segments. Cluster. This is the cluster defined from the previous slide. That is high value enthusiast whose characteristics are: this customer exhibits high initial spend, multiple purchase, explore a wide range of product. Implications are they are likely to become loyal. They are likely to become loyal CLV customers or brand advocates. Target marketing focuses on loyalty program and enrollment, personalized recommendation for premium or complementary products. Cluster 2 signifies careful shopkeepers, 40% who are early customers, whose characteristics are: these customers have an average initial spend, explore few product categories, and show moderate engagement with emails. Implications for cluster 2 careful shopkeepers. This is the largest segment. This is the most largest segment and represent in a single significant opportunity for nurturing. They are cautious but potentially loyal if value is consistently demolished. And its targeting markets are highlight benefits of diverse products or soft intensives for a second purchase. Cluster 3, browse and disengage. 20% of who are the early customers. Characteristics defines moderate initial spend, or however their subsequent return purchase are low and email engagement is moderate. Target marketing includes re-engagement campaign focuses on their initial browsing history. Consider testing different calls to actions to promote a single purchase. Cluster 4 signifies quick transaction of 20% who are the earlier customers. Characteristic: low initial spend, bought a often entry-level product, very low engagements. Implications which includes the segments might have a very significant utilitarian purchase, or with they represent a high risk of useless activity. Now coming to the conclusion. The conclusion says that the ability to understand or effectively engage with customer during the nascent states is a...
Aniket, just to remind you, 1 minute is left with you. Wrap up within.
Okay, ma'am. The conclusion says that the paper has proposed a methodology for early customer segmentation using K-means clustering, designed to transform genetic early stage marketing into highly personalized and impactful target marketing. The hypothetical situations illustrations demonstrated how the approach yields actionable insights and optimizing the overall customer journey. While limitation exists, particularly concerning data availability and assumptions of K-means, data-driven segmentation for early customers significantly outweighed these challenges. And it also increasingly customer-centric world. The proposed methodology empowers businesses to move beyond by investing in early customer segmentations. Companies can not only reduce or improve ROI, but also build a foundation of loyal advocates, ultimately driving sustainable growth and competitive advantage. So this was my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity. I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Are you BTech student?
Yes, sir.
There is a lot of improvement requirement for the presentation skills also, as well as take care whenever you are going for the next presentation in any of that conference. Be very clear with the crisp and clear content instead of writing too much content on the single slide. So take care
Okay.
about that thing in the next time. Do the formatting properly and other thing. Otherwise, that topic you selected and you have done the experiments based on the discussion is okay.
Okay, so thank you.
But thank you, Aniket, for sharing. So next, I invite Divya Bharati to share her work titled as Responsive Design 2.0, Advanced CSS and JavaScript Techniques from Cross-Device Compatibility. So Divya, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so you can share your screen and start with your presentation.
Is it visible, ma'am?
No, it is not visible yet.
Is it right now?
Yes, it is visible. You can continue.
Hello, everyone. This is Divya Bharti from Arya College of Engineering and IT. My topic is Responsive Design 2.0, Advanced CSS JavaScript Techniques for Cross-Device Compatibility. My first slide actually says about the real-time problem statements and solution. The problem statements are components do not adapt independently, causing UI
Divya, can you
inconsistency,
please
slow
recheck your
performance due
internet
to load
connection?
unnecessary images and scripts, poor accessibility for users with different font and access needs,
Divya,
dynamic content updates.
can you recheck your internet connection, please? Your voice is cracking very much.
Hello, ma'am.
Can you recheck your internet connection? Your voice is cracking. You can continue.
Okay. Proposed solutions are container queries allow components to adapt based on available space, not just the screen size. Fluid layouts and typography using CSS grid, Flexbox, and Clamp ensure smooth scaling. JavaScript APIs like Resize Observer and Match Media enable real time layout adjustments. Adapting images and lazy loading reduce bandwidth uses and improve performance. Now, these are the contents that I am just going to explain one by one. The introduction of this topic says Responsive Design 2.0 moves beyond simple CSS media queries, focusing on fluid layouts, container queries, and dynamic JavaScript adjustments. The goal of this topic is seamless user experience across all devices, screen sizes, and orientations. Supports accessibility, usability, and future ready web standards. Modern users expect fast, consistent, and adaptive interfaces regardless of device or network conditions. It integrates advanced CSS features with JavaScript driven real time adjustments to handle dynamic content, improves performance optimization through adaptive loading and resource prioritization. Now, the technology used in this are front-end JavaScript techniques and web development tools. Front-end include media queries level 4 and 5, container queries, Flexbox and CSS grid, CSS variables and clamp. JavaScript techniques include Match Media API for responsive scripting, Resize Observer for container-based responsiveness, dynamic viewport scaling, and lazy loading and adaptive content. web development tools like frameworks, Vue, Angular, etc. This topic says about the responsive design ensure website adapt fluidity across devices. CSS handles structures and designs, while JavaScript enables real-time interactivity. Responsive 2.0 introduces adaptive images, flexible typography, and performance-driven responsiveness. Responsive Design 2.0 focus on intelligent adaptation rather than fixed breakpoints. It enables component-based responsiveness where individual UI elements adjust independently, optimizes performance by reduce unnecessary resource loading on smaller devices. Use modern CSS techniques such as grid, flexbox, container queries for flexible layout. The key features are container queries. UI elements adapt based on the size of their parent container, not just the screen. Enables reusable and independent components for modern layouts. Orientation and interaction awareness adapts UI for portrait and landscape modes, optimized for touch, mouse, and keyboard input. Component based layouts UI is built using independent reusable components. Each component adapt itself without affecting the entire layout. Responsive CSS grid and flexbox enable flexible row and column layouts, automatically adjust spacing, alignments, and ordering. Framework compatibility easily integrate with React, Angular, and Vue, supports responsive hooks and state drive, etc. The scalability and microservices are the scalability explain about the component based UI. Responsive layouts are broken into modular, reusable components like cards, grids, and navbars. Performance oriented use adaptive loading images scripts so site can handle millions of users with minimal bandwidth. Progressive enhancement website scale gracefully from low end devices to high performance systems. Microservices include independent scaling. Each microservices can be optimized separately. API-driven layouts. JavaScript fetches data from different microservices and renders a device-optimized UI. Micro frontends break UI from a smaller space and header, sidebar, video players, etc. that adapt independently to screen size. The real-time solutions are orientation-based changes to mobile, tablets, etc., dynamic grid restructuring when resizing, live font scaling for accessibility, progressive enhancement like fallback for older browsers, real-time layout adjustment based on screen resizing events.
Divya, just
Yes, ma'am.
to remind you, you have 2 minutes left.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Automatic UI reflow when switching between portraits and landscape modes. Live adjustment of spacing and margin and padding. Next, the real-time web applications are real-time web application update. Content instantly without page reloads. User interactions are processed continuously and reflected immediately. Responsive Design 2.0 ensures layout adapt during live updates, maintains smooth performance across mobile, tablet, and desktop devices. Why this technology has been used? Once codebase for multiple devices and screen sizes, improve user engagement and overall user experience, reduce development and maintenance cost, consistent U and UX across all platforms, reduce development and maintenance cost. The authentication of technology contains mobile friendly authentication like biometric and OTP. Responsive forms adapt to different screen size and input types. JavaScript ensures secure input handling, ensures smooth and stable UI during authentication process. Compatibility compatible with modern authentication frameworks and APIs. And the conclusion of this topic is responsive design 2.0 goes beyond basic layouts, use advanced CSS and JavaScript APIs, future-ready solution for multiple device web apps, balance performance, accessibility, and user experience. These are the references. Thank you.
Can you come to your core work slide?
What's up?
The major work proposed by you. Can you come to that slide?
This, sir?
No, next. Next. Okay, go for the next. Done. So what is your contribution? You are actually merging the components, right?
Okay.
So if I am asking, explain your contribution within 3 to 4 lines compared to the existing solution. So what will be your 3 to 4 lines?
Sir, actually, we are just implementing this so improve our experience.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, our next presenter is Gauri Prasad Bedala to present their research paper titled Securing Web Browsing Detection of Browser in the Browser Attack. So, Gauri Prasad, are you ready with your presentation? I think no, so we can move on to the next presentation. So next we have Tagru Tapung to present SETGRNet, an AI-driven speech emotion recognition system using hybrid deep learning architecture. So are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, I'm ready. Am I audible?
Okay, you can share. Yes, you are
Yeah,
audible.
you're
You can
audible.
share it.
Thank you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Tagru Tapung. Today, I will be presenting our project title, SCTGRNet, an AI-driven speech motion recognition system using hybrid deep learning architect and assistant professor Amar Taku from Department of Computer Science and Engineering from nearest.
Tagru, your voice
Audio
is
problem.
cracking a little bit. Can you recheck with your network?
Am I audible?
Yes, it is fine. You can start. Yes.
So speech emotion recognition or SER is a task of identifying human emotion such as happy, sad, angry from speech signals. Speech is the most natural medium of human communication. Beyond what it carries rich emotional cues embedded in pitch, tone, rhythm, and energy. The SER plays a vital role in applications like human-computer interaction, virtual assistant, customer service automation, and emotion-aware dialogue system. However, the traditional system lack emotional intelligence, making interaction rigid and unnatural. This motivates the need for more emotional aware AI system, which is my proposed model. For literature review, early ACR system relied on handcrafted features such as MFCC, pitch, zero cross rating, and classical classifiers like SPM, HMM, and GMM. With the rise of deep learning, CNNs improve spectral feature learning. LSTM and GRU capture temporal patterns, attention mechanism, and transformer enable global contextual modeling. The hybrid models
Speak
Guru,
audibly.
again there is a
CNN
audio
transformer
issue
journey,
again.
hyper distance, and they still struggle with data set. Pardon.
I
There is
think
an audio
your
issue
voice.
again.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I audible now? Let's see.
Yeah.
Is my voice clear?
Yes, yes, you're clear. You're still not audible, Guru.
Can you please connect
Studying
with
right
other
two components
alternate
and
headphone?
okay, let me try.
Sorry, sir.
I just informed to change that audio device.
Yes, Guru, can you change your audio device and try once?
Okay. Am I audible now? Like, is it
No,
proper?
actually there is a audio issue still.
I switched my audio device. Wait.
So you resolve your issue till then we'll take the next presentation. So next we
Okay.
have Sanchit to present his work named The Evolution and Impact of No-Code Platforms on Full Stack Development. So
Hello.
Sanchit, are you here?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am,
you
I'm here. Good
can,
afternoon. Ma'am, may I share my screen?
are you ready with, yes, you can share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, just a second, please.
Yes.
Share and got entire screen. Share. Okay, is it visible?
Yeah, you can start.
Yes. So, good afternoon, delegates and all the fellow authors. I'm Dr. Sanchit, assistant professor at Penn University, Noida. So, under my tutelage, my students have done a survey paper and survey research on the evolutionary impact of no-code platforms on full stack development. Basically, in this work, we have explored how no-code platforms such as Cursor or Vibe coding are taking over the traditional development environment, such as bare coding in the development process. Okay. So let's talk about the revolution in the software development. Traditional approach, what we say usually. In traditional approach, we hire a full stack developer in the company. There are separate database engineers, front end engineers, back end engineers, and DevOps engineers. Each has an individual role to perform. Some manage the client side, some manage the server side, whereas some manage the database. Whereas in no-code transformation that has been occurring nowadays is that we have ready-made templates or snippets of code that allow us easy integration of the database, front end, back end, client side, server side into one single, uh, what we can say, extended or unified dashboard kind of system that allow us to simply drag and drop the required interface to perform the necessary action. Okay. So first, let us see the historical evolution of no-code platforms. From 1990s, the advent of no-code platforms took over. Okay, so from 1980s to 90s, early visual code was from using HyperCard and Microsoft Access, using rudimentary visuals. Okay, then in 2000s, the web integration with the advent of internet, the cloud technologies enable integrated design solutions, creating combining integrated design, data management, publishing capabilities to the access environment. In 2010s, the platform matured. Like we had Blockly. If anybody here has heard of Blockly or Codely, it's a basically drag and drop block like language. If anyone has played Minecraft, so it is a drag and drop editor for basic robotics purposes. Okay. And from the 2020 onwards to present, we have the AI integration with small language models and large language models and AI integrated agentic AI, where the composition are now transforming low code into genuine no code capabilities. Like we have N8N. If anybody has heard of N8N, it's a agentic AI automation platform using agentic AI that is completely no code. Okay. So core features of modern no-code platforms. Visualizers are drag and drop, as simple as like I told you with Blockly. We have Blockly, we have RoboScratch. Simply drag and drop sequence we have, like with the N8N. We can drag and drop the required template and we don't have to code anything. Okay. Similarly, pre-built logic flows and workflows, like with the logical diagrams, integrated database services, whether you require NoSQL services or SQL databases, MySQL or MongoDB, the ready-made template is available. Automated hosting and deployment, whether you have to deploy it on a local host or a server or a distributed system, you have the ready-made template available with you. You just have to plug and play your own customized code into the ready-made template. So now one might ask that what is the market driver behind no code adoption? That why a person needs no code when we have developers on our hands. Okay, so basically development shortage crisis. First of all, it's not such as development shortage crisis, but we can say skilled developer shortage crisis. Indeed, because a developer may not be skilled in Angular as he is in JavaScript, and vice versa. Okay, increasing technical complexity. Similarly, if like I am a JavaScript developer and I have to learn Angular, I will be very frustrated and I will have to ponder time, resources, and energy into learning Angular or JavaScript and move from my particular stack to the new stack. Rising developmental cost. If I have a developer who does not know Angular but knows JavaScript, so I have to either train that JavaScript developer for Angular or hire a new Angular developer. So that is adding to my development cost as a startup. Democratization of development. Okay. So nowadays, as you all know, not all engineers code, but many non-engineers are also coding right nowadays. That means that with the advent of no-code technologies, many non-engineers who are not in engineering, who are not studied computer science, are also able to code efficiently thanks to no-code platforms. So in this research work, the survey paper that we have registered and carried out, we took over 50 literature review articles and studies and combined them into scrutinized them to about 20. Okay, we made use of real world use case no code implementations across startups, mid-sized businesses, and Fortune 500 companies spanning multiple industries, along with 12 interviews. And now I would like to emphasize that these interviews were collected from article magazines such as PC Magazine, Forbes, Digit, Electronics for You, Open Source for You, which are popular PC magazines for CEOs to speak about the modern technologies. Okay, so what are the benefits that we found in that we can say consolidated out of no-code platforms? Okay, so that is rapid prototyping is first. Okay, we have accelerated prototyping nowadays that we can ship an application in mere weeks instead of years or months. Okay, cost reduction. I have to hire fewer developers if I have to code a certain stack of applications. Enhanced accessibility. If I am telling someone who is not from a technical background to access a certain file in a certain way, so rather than raw coding, a no-code platform will make it easier for him or her to access that. Faster time to market. If I'm rapid prototyping in a shorter span of time, then I can be faster to ship my product in the market. Developer productivity. If I like vibe coding is there, cursor is there, and cloud coding is there nowadays. Everybody in the Fortune 500 companies is using AI coding. So their development process is faster, their productivity is higher. Critical challenges and limitations. So like everything, there are critical challenges and limitations in no code and low code applications as well. So, first and foremost is scalability crisis. First of all, when we have a huge volume of data, the data as we mount the data more and more, the hyper volume of data makes it difficult to scale up and down according to our needs. Security and compliance gaps, such as in industries related to healthcare and audit industries such as banking, they might suffer a security leak, such as where databases are sensitive to information. Vendor lock-in. Third is vendor lock-in. Vendor lock-in is when, like, we have ChatGPT using OpenAI. So OpenAI is a proprietary stakeholder which does not disclose its models to another company. So we cannot migrate one aspect of our coding to another provider easily. Which brings us to our fourth limitation, that is limited customization. With limited migratability comes limited customization. We can use them for basic templates, basic purposes, but with more complex hyper volumes of information, we might need to use raw codes only. So these are the real world case studies in which we have learned lessons. First was small business e-commerce. Here the lesson that we learned that plan for growth and integration needs to be early to avoid migration surprises. Second was startup MVP, that is mean most valuable person development. Here the lesson was hybrid approaches accelerate validation when coupled with strong integration practices. Third was enterprise dashboard integration. Lesson here was no code excels for prototyping but needs governance for security, scale, and performance, as I told in the previous slide. Best practices for successful implementation. Strategic adoption should include a hybrid architecture, vendor evaluation, API first design, center of excellence should be constructed. Technical safeguards must be established using security measures, performance optimization, testing and observability, migration planning. So the future research direction include performance benchmarking, systematic, reproducible, scalable studies across all platform classes should provide objective workload placement guidance and identify performance boundaries. Migration frameworks, development of standardized frameworks like JSON or Tune formats, so that that reduce vendor lock-in, so that one workflow can be migrated to another platform. AI assisted composition, like we have large language models, we can develop small language models and other AI assistant coding agents that may help us with coding. Security profiles, code development of compliance frameworks for vendors, auditors, and enterprises to enable safe deployment in regulated domains. Conclusion, balancing speed with stability. No-code platforms has fundamentally reframed full-stack development by lowering barriers, accelerating prototyping, and democratizing application development. However, future work must prioritize reproducible benchmarks, migration frameworks, reducing vendor lock-in, security profiles for regulated trafficking domains, and log utilization studies examining how no-code adoption reshapes team roles and organization capabilities. So these are my references, and thank you for the that was my presentation. Thank you. If any questions, please, I'm all ears. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Sanchit, for presenting. So our next presenter is Kritika P. To present her work titled as Uncovering Obstacles for Women Plantation Workers Through the Demattled Framework. So, Kritika, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. I'll start.
Yes. Yes, you can share the screen and start.
Is my presentation visible, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, it is visible.
Is it in the presentation mode?
Yeah, no, you have to start it in the presentation.
No, it is.
Yes.
Yes, now it is visible. You can start.
1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Kritika, research scholar from Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham University, and I'm also glad to welcome my co-authors, Dr. M. Suresh and Dr. S. Kanagraj. Today I'm here to present on the topic Uncovering Obstacles for Women Plantation Workers through the Demattled Framework. To start with, the outline of the presentation, it is introduction and study background followed by research gap, research methodology, results of the study, conclusions, implications from the research, limitations and future research, and references. To give a basic introduction why this study is being done, as we all know, agriculture is one of the predominant sectors which contributes for the country's gross domestic product around 17%, and this was the statistics in the year 2024. And it also gives employment opportunities for the people around 70% who are living in the rural areas. So when we take into consideration of agriculture, plantation agriculture is one of the sector which is gaining more importance and which is very essential, where it employs more than 2 million of individuals working in the sector across the nation. So like plantation agriculture, when we take the crops included in plantation agriculture or tea, coffee, spices like pepper, cardamom, and sometimes rubber is also included in the category of plantation workers. So in this study, I would like to tell that the problems or obstacles or barriers that are faced by the women workers employed in the plantation sector. So one of the definition given by Hartimik in 2005 is plantation agriculture is defined as large-scale, foreign-owned, high-input and output farming structures that are principally export-oriented. With this, we can say that it is contributing for the economic development of the country. When we look into the plantation sector, majority of the persons who are employed there or the labor force in the plantation sector, or majority of them are women. So like women, they are considered as the predominant in this operation because they are ideal for picking both tea leaves and coffee plants. Especially in the aspects of tea and coffee, women are more employed in the plantation sector. So some of the major obstacles which women face in the plantation sector is because of their remote location, like where the plantation environment is located. They feel very difficult for traveling to the workplace, so that they feel that their security is disturbed, their healthcare is not proper, and sometimes the plantation workers do not have proper education facilities also. So to continue with, these are some of the obstacles that the women face in their workplace environment, like low pay, long hours of work, unfavorable working conditions, insufficient housing, proper sanitation facilities or healthcare facilities, and women workers are not allowed to take decision making roles in their family or even at the workplace. And discriminatory practices on gender have resulted in, like, compared to men, they receive a lower amount of wages and their working conditions are a little poor compared to the other workforce. So the plantation workers are also selected on the basis, like they are felt that they are better suited for choosing the activities of tea plantations. So why I wanted to do this study is, compared to the other gender, the male gender or the other genders, women are facing more problems in the workplace environment. So I wanted to identify what are the barriers which they face in their workplace. So coming on to the research gap, in the previous slide, we were discussing these are some of the obstacles that the women face. The previous studies and researchers have identified the different barriers, and they have just listed the barriers that has been identified. So in this study, what we are trying to do is to find the relationship between the barriers and interaction between the barriers that are identified through the literature review. So through this study, we can systematically identify, analyze, and address the gender-specific challenges faced by women plantation workers, which will provide them necessary knowledge to drive informed interventions and reforms. So adaptation of demetal method in this study is a novel methodological approach that will try to provide a comprehensive understanding of the interrelationship among these barriers. So this approach not only fills the gap in the literature review, but also tries to provide some of the practical implications that can be adopted by the employees as well as the employers in the plantation sector. To continue with the research methodology, so this aim of the study is to explore and analyze the critical barriers impacting women plantation workers in their workplace. So I have two objectives for the study. One is to identify the critical barriers impacting women in plantation sector, and the next objective is to analyze the interrelationship among these barriers and prioritize their impact on working and living conditions. So move on to the research questions. We have three research questions. One is, what are the critical barriers impacting women plantation workers in their workplace? How do the barriers influence one another? Can the rank of these barriers be measured? So to answer these questions, we'll look into the methodology section, research design and the result section. So the research design that is adopted for the study is demetal approach, that is decision-making trial and evaluation laboratory method, which was developed by Battle Memorial Institute in the year 1970. And this method helps to resolve a problem by examining the causal interaction among the barriers or factors that is being identified for the study. So this was initially used in service and industrial sectors by the scholars. Later, the researchers have started using it where they wanted to know the interrelationship between the factors, or which are the cause factor or effect factor that is impacting or influencing the problems that are faced by the individuals. So this method also helps to represent the structural framework of interrelationship between causes and effects as stated by View and Lee in 2007. So in this research, we have tried to understand the obstacles faced by women plantation workers and the relationship between each obstacles using the DeMattel method. So next, to move on to the steps in DeMattel approach. First is we'll identify the factors or barriers for study. Next is establishing the interconnectedness between the factors. Third step is developing influence matrix. Fourth is constructing the scatter plot through the cause effect diagram. So identification of factors, it is for this research, we have identified 9 barriers of impact, which is impacting the women plantation workers. And these barriers are identified through the literature review as well as the expert opinion. Experts are those who are women who are employed in the plantation sector for a period of more than 5 years. So these are the 9 barriers that has been identified. So the data was collected from 10 experts in the field of study, that is the women who are employed in the plantation sector for a period of more than 5 years. I have collected the data from 10 women individuals. So the data were combined to achieve the overall direct relationship matrix. So this is this calculation is which shows the direct relationship matrix. Next is calculation of influence matrix. Through this influence matrix, what we can understand is which factor has influence on which are all the factors. For example, if we consider barrier 1, that is barrier 1 here is low wages. So low wages has impact on barrier 2, barrier 3, barrier 4, barrier 5, barrier 8 and barrier 9. So it does not impact the rest of the 3 factors. So barrier 1 has high impact on rest of the 6 factors. Likewise, we have calculated the influence matrix for all the 9 factors to understand the influence between the other factors. Next, to move on to the degree of relation. So degree of relation is calculated from the influence matrix. So this table shows that which factor is ranked first and which is considered as the most impactful barrier that the women has to consider, or the employers of the plantation sector has to consider to solve the problems that the women are facing in their day-to-day life, their workplace. So now if we see barrier 9 is ranked first. Barrier 9 is single earning member. Next ranked is barrier 1, that is low wages. Next ranked is barrier 4, that is wage discrimination. Next is barrier 8, that is lack of skills and education. So these are some of the barriers or obstacles that women face in the plantation sector. So next, to move on to the cause effect diagram of barriers, the positive side is considered as the cause factor and the negative side is considered as the effect factor. So this study has 5 cause factors and 4 effect factors. So the cause factors are the factors that are to be considered more, and they have to be given importance, and their priority should be possessed, and they should be given as the outcome of the study. So to move on to the conclusion, women play a crucial role in the areas with high concentration of tea, coffee, rubber, and other plantations globally. So the DeMattel method adopted in this paper helps to examine the challenges faced by women in the plantation sector. So the outcome of the study reveals that single earning member, low wages, wage discrimination, and lack of skills and education are the crucial barriers that impact women in the plantation sector. So these 4 barriers are to be considered more important or priority barriers for the women who are working in the plantation sector. Move on to the research implications. So the study findings will facilitate women in the plantation sector to identify and understand the most noteworthy barriers and less impactful barriers. So they have listed 9 barriers. So from this results or findings, they can identify which are the most noteworthy or important barriers that they should give more focus to avoid the obstacles or hindrances that they face in their day-to-day life. So this knowledge or acquaintance strategies help the workers in increasing the awareness through the challenges which they face and empower them to recover or come out of the issues that they are facing regularly. So this help also to ensure the workplace safety and workers' welfare that can be enhanced when these challenges are addressed or answered by the employees. So this provides a basis for plantation industries to address these critical barriers by creating a safe and worker-friendly environment. So the study results can also be submitted to the plantation industries where they can understand what are the critical issues that the women employed are facing, so that they can create a better working environment so that their status can also be improved. So the administrators also can focus on revising the minimum wages paid to women, incorporate skill capacity, and like they can develop skill building and capacity building programs for the women at the workplace, and also develop some of the social protection measures to achieve economic resilience. So these are some of the limitations and future research plans. So this research can be extensively studied by further identifying the other barriers in the field of study. So we have just tried to identify 9 barriers of influence. In future research, more than 9 barriers can be listed and they can be studied. A comparative study between nations can also provide a bit better investigation and understanding of the complications encountered by women in the plantation sectors worldwide. Longitudinal studies can also throw light on the interventions that are envisioned to improve the conditions of women plantation workers. So the future investigations can focus on the issues faced by the women that can pay for the deeper understanding about the problems which they are facing. So these are some of the references, and thank you.
Good presentation.
Okay, so Tagru is left with the presentation. Are you ready with the issues resolved, Tagru? Okay, I think
Hello.
he's not yes.
Hello.
So are you ready with the presentation and the issues resolved?
I'm still actually doing. Is it working fine now? Like, am I audible?
Yes, it is working fine. So can you wrap it up in 5 minutes quickly, like summarizing the whole PPT?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
again, if the voice issues occur, is it okay with you, Prajapati sir?
Yeah, fine. It's up to you and the timing.
Okay. So you can start with it, Tagru. You can present and check. If it is taking too long, then you can summarize it. So
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. So to quickly summarize, is it fine if I just say the like only the main points?
yes.
Yeah, from where you left, that you can continue.
Oh, okay. So I did the literature review. So the main problem that I'm facing in my work is that despite the SCR remains despite the progress, the SCR remains challenging due to high variability of speaker, due to like different age group of speaker, accent, and the recording environment and background noises. So to deal with these challenges, I proposed a model which is a combination of 3 blocks: the SE ResNet frontend, temporal conversion network, and bidirectional GRE. The SE ResNet frontend extracts local acoustic features, and the temporal conversion network captures long-range temporal dependencies. And the bidirectional GRU learns contextual dependency from past and future frames. And this combination allows SE TGRNet to learn multi-scale emotional representation, improving accuracy and robustness. Input MFC feature passes through SE ResNet block, and the positional encoding and TCN layer models temporal dependencies. The BiGRU layer capture contextual information. And finally, the dense and softmax layer classify emotions into 7 classes. This hierarchical design ensures stable training and efficient learning of both local and global features. The dataset we used are the RevDes, GrammarD, uh, TESS, and CV. All the datasets are merged into a unified surprise neutral discussed peer set happy and angry. For feature extraction,
I think same voice problem is occurring again.
we extract
Guru,
headline
there is again
features.
a voice issue
Those are
occurring.
uh,
Yes, you can continue.
on my behalf. If it is it possible for someone else to present on my behalf? I guess it is due to my network, due to my region.
Yes, yes, it is possible. Someone else can present from your team from your behalf. So
Um, okay,
they
I'll
can
ask them to
start.
just join. Mm,
I think
just
there
give
is
me.
someone with your name already in the meeting.
Okay.
Present and you can speak.
Fine if they start. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, you can start.
Uh, okay. So ma'am, there was a
You can start
network
with
problem.
this slide itself.
Okay. Just give me a minute, ma'am. I'm downloading that PDF. Sorry, PPT. You just shared me. So
One can speak and one can change the slides.
You can speak.
uh,
Yes, you can start.
ma'am, I can't control the slides for right now. So let
But
me.
you can ask Tagru on the screen itself to control it. The Tagru can control and you can present it.
Okay. Tagru, please show me that feature extraction slide.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, feature extraction.
Tagru. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so ma'am,
You can
they have
speak.
used for feature extraction, they have used MFCC and they are using 13 MFCC. And the other feature is the delta MFCC, and the third feature is delta MFCC. So they have kept uh, the audio clips, all the audio clips to 2.5 seconds, and the sampling rate of 22050 hertz. And then to uh, improve the robustness of the model, they have also used data augmentation, such as noise, pitch, and stretch. Also equalization. And please move to training setup. Group. And should I just continue the explanation?
Yes, you can summarize it. Yes, you can
Okay,
summarize
okay.
it quickly.
So for mem training setup, they are using Adam as for optimization, and then a decent learning rate 0.001, and loss function of categorical cross entropy, batch size 32, and they have also split data set into 70% for training, 15% for validation, and 15% for testing. As for their model performance, they have achieved 99% accuracy on RABDES, only on RABDES dataset, and 96% accuracy on combined dataset. For matrices, ma'am, their confusion matrix and ROC. They have given ROC curves and confusion matrix, which looks strong and very robust model. They have also got AUC values greater than 0.9 for all emotions, which shows that their model can perform state-of-the-art. And for their conclusion slide, then they say that SDR is a powerful hybrid architecture combining channel-wise attention and long-range temporal modeling, TCN, and context sequence learning, IGRE. This model is highly robust to real environments because of the way they expected features and because of the way they perform augmentation. So that was it. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, so it is done.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No question.
Okay. Okay. So with this presentation, we conclude to the conclusion of technical session
Yoshika,
8E.
I think
Yes.
one paper is left, browser in browser attack. Securing web browsing, detection of browser in browser
Yes, so,
attack.
so those two candidates are absent, Namrata
Okay, fine.
Jangam and Gauri Prasad Bedala. So they both are absent.
Okay, thank you.
So I would like, yes. So I would like to sincerely thank all our authors for their excellent presentations and contributions. So your work will truly reflect the spirit and quality of ICTCS. I would also like to thank all our participants for staying with us and making this session engaging and interactive. So as this year marks the 10th edition of ICTCS, we are deeply grateful for your continued support, not only this year, but throughout all the previous editions. So we look forward to welcoming you again for the 11th edition in 2026. A few important updates before we conclude. All presenters will receive their digital certificates within 2 working days through their emails, and the publication process will be completed within 7 to 8 months. And we kindly request your cooperation with the ICTCS team during this publication period. And I would like to extend a very special thank you to our session chair, Dr. Preetesh Kumar Prajapati sir, for guiding today's session so gracefully and for sharing his valuable expertise. This certificate is a small token of appreciation on behalf of Team ICTCS 2025 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. So before we officially conclude, I will kindly request everybody to switch on their cameras so that we can capture this virtual moment together. So I will take a screenshot once. Aniket, Snehal ma'am, can you please turn on your cameras? Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for your valuable presence today, and we look forward to see you in the next session. Thank you, Pritesh Kumar sir. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being with us. Yes.
Okay, thank you all.